Trailblazing Senator Dianne Feinstein says the time has now come for her to retire. Today's announcement capping her long career as a political leader.
Both Mayor Moscone and Supervisor Harvey Milk have been shot and killed.
So many people in the Bay Area remembering that moment. Feinstein's decision, though, also setting up a major Democratic competition for her coveted Senate seat.
From KTVU Fox 2 News, this is The Four.
She was first elected to the United States Senate in 1992, and at 89, she is now the oldest member of Congress and the longest-serving senator from California. She is described as a legend in the Senate, and today colleagues are reflecting on Feinstein's more than 30 years in office. Welcome, everyone, to The Four this afternoon. I'm Heather Holmes.
And I'm Alex Savage. Her distinguished career can be traced back to San Francisco, where she started off as a supervisor.
And KTVU's Brooks Jarrosz joins us now live with a look at some of Feinstein's many accomplishments. Brooks.
Yeah, what an accomplished career. I dipped into our archives and ran across an interview from about 20 years ago. Feinstein was asked about what she likes most about being in politics. Well, her response, she said she likes to meet people, talk with them, listen, and then learn. Feinstein also said she's at her best during times of crisis or dispute and likes the challenge of pulling two sides together to find a solution. We're going to be back in just a few minutes to show you all of her accomplishments.
All
right, Brooks, looking forward to that report. Thank you very much. Well, some of her notable career accomplishments include many things. As we mentioned, being a San Francisco supervisor, really just the beginning. But one person who knows Feinstein very well is Barbara Boxer, who was also elected to the Senate in 1992, the two women becoming the first pair of female senators in any state.
Yeah, what a year that was. Barbara Boxer joins us now live, and we certainly appreciate you taking the time here on such an important day. As we learn, Senator Feinstein is going to be calling this a career, and what a distinguished and remarkable career it was. You know her so well. I'm curious, how difficult do you think it was for Senator Feinstein to make this decision to step down?
I know it was very hard for her. I talked to her about it a long time ago. I tried to tell her there is life after the Senate. You can go out, you could tell people what it was like, you could teach kids, you could, advocate for things you believe in. And but she told me when I decided to leave, she was sorry, and she was kind of stunned. And I know her perspective, and that is stay as long as you can, because in the Senate, you get all that seniority and you get terrific committee assignments and so on and so forth. But, we were thrown together. Fate threw us together. We're quite different in style and personality and even in some of our views, but we remained very close. And when it came to California, we were joined at the hip.
Yeah, you two really pitching yourselves to voters back in 1992, known as the dynamic duo. I mean, what accomplished careers by both of you. But if we can just get a little personal here for a moment. When you look back on Feinstein's career in the United States Senate, what sort of stands out to you the most in terms of her long list of accomplishments?
She has many accomplishments. We're always so proud of the things we can do. And you're going to list some of the firsts that she achieved. But I think what's, to me, the most important thing is the woman herself and the way she persevered through so many heartbreaks, losing her husband, Bert Feinstein, picking herself up after that. She adored him, and moving forward. Then seeing this horrific assassination in San Francisco. And being a woman in those years, people thought, you weren't tough enough. That's why I called my book The Art of Tough. You have to be tough. She was tough, and she could pull it together. And then when we ran together, I can't even tell you the prejudice we faced. It's a huge amount of prejudice. People would say to me, well, I could vote for one woman, but not for two. And I could vote for one Jewish woman, but not for two. Or I could vote for one Bay Area woman, but not for two. And we kept it together. We had a sense of humor about it. We'd say, well, did you ever worry about voting for two Protestant men? No one ever heard that. What is the problem? And, you know, thanks to the good people of California, they saw through all that prejudice. And we worked together for all those years. We always knew we might not agree on certain things like the war in Iraq. We had different perspectives, but we did no harm. We respected each other even when we had differences.
You know, you could look at Senator Feinstein's legacy in terms of the legislation that she spearheaded and helped to pass while she was in the Senate. But I think a lot of people look at the barriers that she broke down. We just put all of those firsts up there. First mayor, woman to be mayor of San Francisco, to be president of the Board of Supervisors there, and then the first woman elected as a U.S. Senator from California. How do you think Senator Feinstein change the landscape for future generations of women in politics?
Well, she had a terrific career, and she just proved that, you know, the fact that you're a woman shouldn't change the way people view you. You know, I've always said women are not better. We're equal. We deserve an equal chance. And I think through all of her accomplishments and all of her setbacks and losses, personal and otherwise, she showed that you could persevere and you could do so much good. And she never gave up. You know, tough things that she had to do. We worked together on the assault weapons ban. She was the leader. And boy, I'll tell you, we all followed her direction. She'd say, we got to get to 60 votes. And Joe Biden was the head of the Judiciary Committee, and he was like the coach in the background and telling us we had to keep working. And I'd say, Dianne, you take the tall senators, I'll take the short ones. I'm barely 5 feet. To me, she was a giant of a woman.
Yeah.
So, you know, we had our sense of humor. We worked together, and I think it's enduring. You know, her career, it sends out that message to everyone. Stick with it.
Yeah.
Keep your passion for your work.
And Barbara, before we let you go, you mentioned the assault weapons ban. Feinstein has reintroduced it. We're talking to you on the day after another deadly mass shooting, this one on a college campus. I mean, your thoughts on that legislation moving forward and the need for it once again?
My thoughts are these. As Americans, we should be ashamed that the leading cause of death among children now, guns. That's unfathomable. And we're the only industrialized nation that has the situation. Too many guns. And I was just thinking, you know, for Senator Feinstein's last 2 years, can't our colleagues come together around her and make this a lasting legacy? Because the original assault weapons ban only lasted 10 years. We thought we could get it done again. We never could. So that would be really something if they gathered around, given the horrific gun violence we see every day. It's a stain upon our great nation, truly.
Yeah, it would be something to see that in the time that she has left to serve in the Senate. We really appreciate your time here on this important day. Former California Senator Barbara Boxer, great to see you. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay, we want to turn back now to our Brooks Jarrosz on Senator Feinstein's lengthy career. Brooks.
You know, Heather, it's hard to just pick one accomplishment when you have 3 decades in the Senate. But tonight we're going to look at how her time in San Francisco shaped the senator she became.
Dianne Feinstein, a staple in the U.S. Senate, a place she has worked more than 30 years.
I devote most of my positive energy toward this job.
But it hasn't come easy, starting as a San Francisco supervisor.
Both Mayor Moscone and Supervisor Harvey Milk have been shot and killed.
Moscone's murder at the hands of Supervisor Dan White put her in the mayor's office and sparked one of her biggest career fights, gun violence.
I believe to this day if Dan White didn't have a weapon that he wouldn't have done what he did.
In 1992, she was elected to the U.S. Senate and soon pushed a federal ban on assault weapons. The 1994 landmark legislation was passed and lasted 10 years. Feinstein's been advocating for its reinstatement ever since, along with other gun safety laws.
If you give people the ability to easily purchase a weapon that can be devastating to large numbers of people, some of them will use that.
She's also been a leading voice in legalizing gay marriage and equal rights for the LGBTQ community, authoring the Respect for Marriage Act.
Simply put, Americans should be free to marry the person they love, regardless of sexual orientation or race.
Discrimination was not new for Feinstein. She fought as the first woman in many roles and empowered many others.
After my time, a majority were women. I appointed a woman city attorney, a woman treasurer.
With a front row seat to history alongside other trailblazing women.
But a long way we have come in this nation.
Unafraid to speak her mind to friends and foes.
You know, presidents are supposed to bring people together, not drive them apart.
Feinstein would passionately take on what she saw as the biggest threats facing our country.
Global warming is happening.
Aiming to prevent and combat wildfires and deal with effects of drought. All these years rerunning for her California seat, feeling confident she could get things done. Now just beginning to get ready for retirement.
This is such a great country, and it's been factionalized and trivialized with rhetoric. We must stop that. We must come together as the great power that we are for the good of the nation and, I think, of mankind. Thank you for your support.
Now, some other notable career accomplishments. Feinstein helped to create the nationwide Amber Alert Network. She authored the first major cybersecurity legislation and worked to combat sex and drug trafficking. The senator plans to finish out her term, which runs through the end of next year. In the studio, Brooks Jarrosz, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
So many incredible accomplishments. Brooks, thank you.